Well, let me ask you then about Tank Bigsby, okay? And obviously Etienne gets banged up in this game, and now they're describing him as week to week, which usually means at least one missed game. Bigsby only ended up getting 7 carries in the game logs. We were debating this yesterday. Do you think the fumble on the kickoff, even though he recovered it, following a fumble last week, which he also recovered in the end zone for a touchdown, do you think they're spooked at all about the ball security, or was it just a case that they were so far down and they realized going forward they're going to put a lot on Bigsby's shoulders, particularly if Etienne misses time, that they thought, let's let Dearness Johnson come in here and handle this. We're down so big, it's really not going to matter anyway.
Well, I think they were definitely aware of Tank Bigsby and also the Bears' ability to punch the ball out. Because here's the facts. I mean, Tank Bigsby has put the ball on the carpet 4 times in his career, and he's got 93 touches. I mean, that's hard to keep somebody on the field when the ball is hitting the carpet with that type of frequency, and it's hard to trust somebody in a game to where you need to protect the ball to kind of keep the momentum going. And, oh, by the way, your defense ain't getting any, to help your team out. So, yeah, I think they're definitely aware of that. That's one of the reasons why Dearness Johnson ended up having only 1 less carry than Tank Bigsby.
So what do you do now, though, going forward? Like, you go in, like, new game, fresh mindset. Let's presume that Etienne doesn't play against the Patriots this week, right? We don't know that for a fact, but let's presume that. Do you go in with the idea that Bigsby is going to get, like, 2/3 of the work, or does he just split it 50-50 with Dearness, or is this just based on the feel and see, how secure he is hanging on to the football? What is the Jeff Lageman approach to the running back position this week if Etienne can't play?
I think you gotta kind of share it with Bigsby and Johnson in the backfield, but then also you're probably going to have to do something from a roster standpoint, whether it be a practice squad elevation or you find a way to get Keelan Robinson on the active roster, who was a draft pick, which I don't know where he's at, by the way. I just know that he's on in that window to where he could be activated anytime along with the Tyson Campbell. But you're definitely going to have to do something if Etienne cannot go, because going into a game day with only 2 active running backs on the roster is not going to work.
Well, they got Jake Funk on the practice squad. I was looking yesterday, and Reese Zamet are your only 2 running back options currently on the practice squad if you wanted to elevate one of those guys for this week. And we'll see what they ultimately end up doing. We'll see what goes on. If they don't have Travis Etienne logs, I feel like this is an oversimplification, but, we look at that Detroit backfield as such a great 2-headed approach with David Montgomery getting a lot of the tough stuff and Jahmyr Gibbs, the more explosive edge, get outside the tackle box kind of player. And I feel like, Gibbs is Etienne for us, and Bigsby's more the David Montgomery type, whereas Etienne was going to take on a large role in the passing game. Tank doesn't get that role. So do they alter the game plan? Do they try to get him more involved there, or are we just going to see more Dearness Johnson on 3rd down?
I think you'll just see Bigsby on the early downs, and then Bigsby on the early downs, and then Dearness Johnson as that 3rd down back. Basically, essentially, Dearness Johnson kind of takes over that 3rd down role that Etienne always had. And Etienne, look, hamstring. I mean, that's hamstrings and running backs, that doesn't work out very well,
right?
And for a guy that already had a shoulder, that clearly bothered him the last 2 weeks and then impacted his playtime last week, and then all of a sudden now to add the hamstring to that, not a good situation to be in if you're the running backs room right there.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.